Good afternoon and welcome to the International Academy of Voice in Tzfat, Israel. We're going to be doing our discussions and our talks from this place because this is where I work, this is where I teach, this is where master classes are being held. And every video that we shoot will be sort of an entity within itself. But ultimately they will all fit together to the point where you will get a very precise and cohesive picture of what this work is all about. To begin with, let me say to you that I do not sing under any circumstances. I do not have a voice to sing. My voice is a complete reconstruction of a voice that couldn't even speak. The work that I've done for the past 30 years is to bring people into their own instruments without using and abusing the vocal cords, the vocal instrument. And what we're going to learn together is why. So I want to begin by explaining to you why we do not, under any circumstances, use any manipulation, physical manipulation of the throat, of the vocal cords, of the jaw, of the muscles in the throat. Anything physical, and you will understand this as we go along, but you'll understand it at this point as well. Anything physical that you might have to do originates not in the physical, but it originates in the mental. That means, where are you singing from? People come and they say, I'm singing from my throat, I'm singing from my diaphragm, I'm singing from my chest, I have chest voice, I have middle voice, I have head voice, I have this range, I have that range, I have the other range. Where does it all begin? It all begins in your brain. And when you learn to understand that everything happens in the brain, how to control the brain, and what to tell your brain in order to do the work that it has to do, then you will understand why singing and speaking is the same. It's the same instrument. It's just more of the same. And you will understand that without a very firm ground inside your knowledge base, inside your thinking, it is not possible to keep a voice for a lifetime. It's not possible to think that you're singing in one place and speaking in another place. Everything that you do comes from the brain. And everything that is the brain is mental orientation. When you understand that the work has ultimately nothing to do with the physical manipulation, not with the jaw, not with the muscles, not with the pushing, not with the chest, not with force of any kind, then you'll understand where the voice comes from. We know that the voice needs air. The whole conversation of most teachers is about air, how to breathe, what to breathe, where to breathe, how much to breathe. I'm out of breath. Breathing, of course, is a very natural thing. You do it. You don't even think about doing it. You just do it. You walk down the street, you don't think of how you breathe. You speak and you don't think really of how you breathe. You get up in the morning and there is no conversation of breathing. You just breathe. Your body just does it. So what are you making such a big deal about breathing for singing, for voice? Where we're going, all the air exists already in a very natural way. The body produces it in a very natural way. It puts it at your disposal in a very natural way. Why are you working so hard? Do you get up in the morning and think about, what do I do for my voice this morning so it will work? You think about it as much as, what do I do for my legs when I pull them out of bed and I put them on the floor? You don't. It's instinctive. So that's exactly the way the voice has to happen. How that happens is when we get into the technical elements. What I want to talk about today is a little bit about what's going on in the world and why all of a sudden the baby boomers are afraid of losing their voices as they get older. Vocal cord surgery seems to be very much in because everybody seems to be doing it. People are talking about the voice. Yesterday I read an article about the boys' choir in Leipzig, famous, I think since the 1800s, that the boys' voices are cracking at earlier ages than they used to crack. And why is that? What's the reason? What, the voices in the 1800s, the early 1900s, middle 1900s weren't the same as the voices today? The conversation is not about that. The conversation is about, what are we doing to our voices today to destroy them earlier? What foundation are we not giving it in order to have it continue for a lifetime? What are we doing different from what used to be? Why is it that voices, even until the early 70s, middle 70s, used to last a lifetime, and today, after 5-10 years of careers, the wobble starts, you lose the height, you lose the depth, and then you begin teaching. Okay, that's the question. What is it that has changed? And basically what has changed is instruction. the way we instruct, what we instruct, how we instruct, how we take a student who has the idea, the feeling, the desire that he wants to sing. He feels it inside, he knows it inside, he hears his voice inside, but he can't bring it out. So he goes to a teacher, and the teacher sits down at the piano, and it's about doing and about vocalizing, and then the teacher makes the notes, and then you do the same thing, and. Nonsense. Nonsense. Because you never will get to your own individual voice if you follow the voice of someone else. You have to follow your own voice. You have to follow your own internal knowledge, your own internal listening, your own internal hearing. And when you learn to do that, and when you learn to understand the needs of your instrument, what your instrument is all about, why it needs what you have to give, and the knowledge you have to give, then and only then can you begin to bring out a tone. You can't build a building without a foundation. You can't start on the 3rd floor, you will crumble. You can't start on pitch conversation when you have no idea where pitch comes from and where it's made. Let me just say, and we'll finish with that, there is no limitation to what your instrument, the voice, can achieve. There is no box that will fit what you think. I'm a soprano, I'm a tenor, I'm an alto, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. End of story. Doesn't exist. There is a line of sound, and that line is from beginning to end one line. Not up and not down and not forced and not pushed, but one line of sound, beautifully homogenized sound in an easy way of production without damaging, harming, or influencing physically the instrument at all.